Hello, how are you, everyone? And we are live today for another chat with my dear colleague Steve Costello into helping parents everywhere, professionals also who are working with teenagers and young adults. And today we wanted to come with what we feel is really relevant to, especially this week, is mental health and how to communicate in a way that benefits both parties. So the young people and the parents, but also any professionals that work with young people. So I'm going to start talking a little bit about giving you a little bit of an example that I've experienced in terms of mental health. When I was working in a young project, a young people's project, years ago, there was one young woman. She was brilliant, like really clever, really articulate, and to be honest with you, at that time, none of us who were working there understood that actually she had some experience in her life that led her to have a really difficult time in terms of dealing with her emotions. And from where she was coming and the background she was coming from, it made it even difficult for her to comprehend and for her to really deal with it properly. And like I said, when I started talking, is that when we didn't know, because she was so articulate, because she was so clever, because she was doing a law degree, because everything else was going well, we never knew. And this is where communication um, takes a big, big, big part into understanding and also letting the other person know where we are and what we can do to support. So I'm going to let my colleague talk as well. Steve, welcome to today's talk.
Thanks, Patience. It's good to be here as usual. Sorry, I'm a little bit croaky today, so I'll try and keep it up there. I was interested to see the theme of World Mental Health Day 2022, and the theme is, roughly speaking, mental health for everybody. And that's a big ask, isn't it? It's huge. Mental health for
So,
everybody, the whole of the global population, that is fantastic. But the thing is, it's not realistic to try and grab the world's population and make sure everybody's mental health is okay. So what we've got to do is start from the other end and start with me and you, or you and me. And we need to start by communicating. So I need to be able to feel that I can tell you how I feel. I'm not feeling so great today, Patience. That's not true, but maybe it was true. But I've got to be able to tell somebody how I feel. Because the thing is about mental health is that it all starts with me. It's about me first. So I need to be able to communicate with somebody else to tell them about me and about how I'm feeling. And that's because nobody can do the work of mental health for me. So, for example, I'm a qualified therapist and a qualified coach. So I can coach people, I can deliver therapy, I can help people with their mental health, but I can't do the work for them. I can enable them to learn a few new skills, but I can't do the work for them. So they have to do the work. But the point is, they don't have to do it alone. Neither do I, neither does Patience. Because there are people like me and Patience around. We work with groups of people, of young people, we work with parents. So we enable people to communicate how they're feeling and what's happening. And the example that Patience just gave, there's an awful lot of stuff in there about communication. It's incredibly important. It's not a weakness to say, help, I need to talk. Because if you aren't able to say, help, I need to talk, you're not communicating. You're not communicating your needs. And that's important, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, Patience, back to you.
Oh my gosh, I so agree. So coming back to this example that I gave, and the reason why I started with this example is because it was like you said, a clear example of this person's got it all. She is well, she can be articulate, she can do this, she can do that, and yet still, when it was to do with her mental health, because of the stigma attached to mental health, especially she was coming from an Asian community, the stigma attached for everything else, and also from us, our point of view of professionals, is that we saw the facades, if I can say it like that, but we didn't see behind until an event happened where the incident became clear that okay, we needed to give extra support here into this term. But even through this giving the support, there was still different challenges because, like I was saying, the stigma attached, but also, like Steve just said it, it's not easy to just come and say, I need the help. And this is really, really difficult. You need to understand, like, we need to understand that when there is a change in dynamics. So when your child is about like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, they could be actually really talkative, or could be telling you about everything, and you're like, oh, so okay, sorry, I'm blabbering a bit, but coming to my point. My point is, they can be talkative and you can be like, stop talking, or you're talking too much. You're not doing it in a bad way. It's not it's something that comes naturally. You're busy as a parent, you're doing something, and you've got the child here talking to you, and you're like, yeah, yeah, yes, okay, okay, and you're not really listening or taking point of what's happening. But when it comes to the teenager, there's a difference and there's a change in dynamic. And it's also to do with, I think, science and genetics. Like our body, our hormones, everything is all over the place. So is how do you keep, even in the change of dynamic, that communication open, so that when there are other things that are going on, like mental health issues, challenges, you can pick up on that. And this is where, professional like us, like Steve, come in and can give you pointers into how, to kind of like communicate, to get to not only tell them that they can trust you, but also that you've got the tools. And if you don't have the tools, that you can refer, them to people who can help them. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a really nice story which highlights how it's changing. I think this is beautiful. So it's somebody I know who's no longer a teen, but he's not much out of his teens, only 2.5 years or so. I asked him out. I spoken to him for a while, so I said, "Hey, how are you doing?" And he said, "Oh, I'm doing great, thanks. I've been dealing with my mental health," was one of the first things he said. And then he said some other stuff. We won't worry about the other stuff. 10 years ago, I wouldn't have expected to hear a young person say to me, "Hey, I'm doing fine. I've been dealing with my mental health." That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Communicating very clearly that he's had challenges, that he's been working on them, that he's been thinking about, he's looked for support. Obviously, I know the background, you don't, but he looked for support, and now he's moving forward again. That's fantastic. That just shows how things are changing, and it's okay to say, actually, I'm not okay. It really is okay to say that. So one of the other things that Patience and I can do through my own work, and I know Patience does some similar things, we do coaching, and we do coaching typically on one-to-one level. But I also do therapy, and I do that on a one-to-one. But additionally, I do a lot of group therapy work. So that's a group of people come together. They don't have the same challenges, they have similar challenges. So together, and through the group experience, they share and communicate. They tell one another how they're feeling or how they're getting on, what's happening, what's not happening. As a therapist, and there's 2 therapists in this particular group, I'm not the only one, we give them our input, our professional input. We share our personal knowledge as well, because we too are human beings. Just because we're therapists doesn't take away the human part. You know, so there's a lot of communication going on in groups, and it's a very powerful process. We've seen some incredible results, how people have moved on, moved forward. So if you think you might be interested in a group, great. I'll put up some phone numbers in a minute. Give us a message on WhatsApp, find on Facebook, find us on LinkedIn. We hang out all over the place, so we can always be spotted. But yeah, it's important. So, Patience, do you have anything to add to wrap up this thing about communication?
I think in terms of communication, there are a lot of skills that you can develop, and there's a lot of ways that you can improve. No one is perfect. Like Steve said, we are all human, and we all act in different way. We all react as well in different ways. So Steve and I will be soon giving you even other ways of support. So just stay tuned and just come onto our videos every Tuesdays, and we will give you some more tips. But there's some more things coming up in the pipe where we will be able to go a little bit deeper than what we are doing here. If in between you need support, you can see our phone numbers right here. You can come onto the page and put a comment. You can also email and we'll respond. But definitely stay open to communication. Keep your mindset as open and as free as possible, so that you can receive every information and really kinds of act on it appropriately.
Yeah, brilliant. So just once more, for anybody who is catching this via audio only, you can contact Patience in the UK. That's country code ++44 5251 2060. You can contact me in France. Now, there's an interesting thing. Patience is French. She's in the UK. I'm English and I'm in France, but there you go. So you can contact me in France on ++3 767 545 557. Brilliant. It's been great to be again today.
It's
Let's
been
come
excellent.
back again next week.
You take care. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.